Hey everybody, it's Corey Johnson here with Mom's Running Club and Think Move Love. And today what I want to do is I want to share with you my menu planning process. So I use technology a lot to plan my menus, and that is why I want to share with you how I do this on a screen video, because I want to show you how I use Evernote and Pinterest. Now, I will tell you, I have cookbooks that I adore. So I definitely pull from cookbooks. I also pull from my tried and true recipes that are just in my brain. But for the most part, this is my process. And I want to share it with you because if you don't know about Evernote, it's pretty great. Now, we all have notes on our phone, but Evernote's a little bit different because what I want to do is I want to share with you how it can help you stay organized. So Evernote is free. They have a really nice basic plan that is free. After a long time, I did upgrade because I wanted to have it on a bunch of devices. I've got it, I use two different computers. I kind of navigate from one, or, depending on how noisy my kitchen is, I move from one computer to another. I have it on my iPad. I have it on my phone. But the basic version, I think, allows you a couple of devices. So ideally, when you're getting started with it, you will never, at least for the purposes of menu planning, you should always be able to use the free version. So it is software that you can download onto your computer. I've been using it for years without any trouble, so don't worry about downloading it. And then there's also, of course, the app. Now, what's cool about Evernote, much like a lot of technology these days, is that when you sync it, so you've got a little sync button right here where I'm pointing to, it will make sure that across all of your devices, it is up to date. So that's how you can know, okay, I've got my menu, and if I'm hitting the store, I can, oh, you know what? I'm going to the grocery store and I can't remember what I was having. Do I need anything? Do I need to grab anything? You know what? I've got my menu with my grocery list on my phone. So that's what's great about Evernote. Now, how do I make a menu? So I've already kind of worked, it's the 19th of January, and I've definitely got next week's menu all done. So I'm going to create a new menu for you guys. First of all, what are notebooks and what are notes? So notebooks are broad topics. These are my broad topics. Anything from how I keep track of my kids' allowance, to planning my blog, to Christmas and gift giving. So all kinds of stuff I've got going there. Those are notebooks. Now, within each notebook, I'm going to select menus, come up here. These are my shortcuts. So these are my most commonly used categories, or at least what I, at the moment, think are my most commonly used categories. These are shortcuts. So a few notebooks I've drug up here so I can access them even more easily. Now, within a notebook, so this is my menus notebook I clicked on. Within a notebook, I have notes. So these are my notes. Each note, and you can create a note in whatever you want. Sometimes I create a note, just a quick little reminder, like a to-do or a to-do for my family. So what I'm going to do now to show you how I create a menu is I'm going to click New Note in Menu. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click New Note in Menus. Now, when I create my menu, what I do is I start with the Monday of the upcoming week. So January 23rd is the Monday of the upcoming week. Now, for my purposes, I like to plan my menus Monday through Thursday because I like to keep Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have some traditions. We like wings on Sunday. We tend to go out as a family on Saturday. And then Friday is just a little kind of loosey-goosey. We kind of play it by ear. I've got a few standbys, kind of my standards for Friday night. But I like to keep it interesting. I enjoy cooking, so I like to keep it interesting. And Monday through Thursday, I plan our meals. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if I can spell, Thursday. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to consider what are our activities for those days. That will help me decide what kind of menu, what kind of recipe I want to attack that night, what kind of time I'm going to have that night to make a meal. Because we all know things change. Let's talk about that. So on Monday, I know my oldest has a clinic, or I guess it's really therapy, he has to go to at 4 o'clock. So on Monday, I'm going to be gone from 3:15 to 5:30, 5:45. to take him to this appointment. So, wow, that is a big chunk of when we might normally be making dinner that we do not have. So on Monday, I know I need to make something like a casserole ahead of time, a crock pot meal, or I need to have something planned that is super quick and easy. Okay, on Tuesday, I know I've got Winter Warriors. Jack has Winter Warriors. Wednesday, for example, can't recall off the top of my head. We'll just say nothing. I'm sure there's not nothing. And then on Thursday, Jack has Winter Warriors. So just for example, these are, I know we've got a lot more than this going on, but for now, let's just assume these are what we've got going on. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've got to pick up at 4:30, pretty open, lots of options. So now I have an idea what each afternoon is going to look like and what my time constraints will be. So there will be days when we're more in our busy season when, at 4 o'clock I head to a cross country meet and I get home at 6:30 or 7. And so I definitely have to have food planned ahead. Then I'm going to come over to our beloved Pinterest. And I get a lot of my menus from Pinterest. I have all of my folders. Now for the purposes of today, okay, come on, computer. Wouldn't you just know it that it would be slow today? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to have my folders, my Pinterest folders, boards, I guess they're called, in categories according to casseroles, poultry, so according to what kind of meal I'm making that night. So if, let's say, on Monday I know I need to do a make-ahead or a crock pot, I'm going to go ahead and consult my casseroles board. Now, to keep it super easy for you guys, what I want to do is I want to I'll just click on the first one so you guys can see. I want to make this as quick as possible. And I'm going to go over to one pot cheeseburger casserole. This is good. I've made this one. And I'm going to click the link, copy the link, go back over to Evernote, paste the link. All right. Now the link is right there. When it comes time to make dinner, I will pull up this note and pull up this link, but I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go back over to this recipe and I'm going to copy the ingredients. Okay. So copy. Edit, copy, go back over to that day and paste and match style. Otherwise you get all kinds of bullets and funky stuff. Sometimes you get links. Now on Monday, I have my recipe, click on it, come Monday, whenever it happens to be, click on that recipe. And when I'm grocery planning, so planning my grocery list, I have all my ingredients. So I will do that. I'm not going to do it today for every recipe, for every night next week. That's going to be pretty cumbersome. We'll do one more so you kind of just see how we did that. So let's say on Tuesday, and Tuesday is at our house. Come on, let's go back. There we go. Tuesday at our house is Mexican. And I will say, I'm sorry guys, hold on. Let's get back over to our boards. Here we go. Where's our board? Okay. Tuesday at our house, I often do like a Mexican dinner on Tuesday, Italian on Wednesday, and then the rest of the nights I kind of work according to our taste buds and our life. So for example, I'm going to go over to my Mexican board for Tuesday. I'm going to find a recipe that I like. Just repeat this process one more time so you guys can see how I do it. So click through to that link. That looks really good. I have not made that. I might have to try that. I'm going to click that link, edit, copy, paste it onto Tuesday, edit, paste, and match style. There we go. Okay. Pop back over here, copy the ingredients, edit, copy, back over to Evernote, edit, paste, and match style. Now, and I would repeat that for Wednesday and I would repeat that for Thursday. So that is how I plan my menu ahead. I usually start, Wednesday or Thursday the week before. It also is a great way to get a sense of your upcoming week well in advance. So there will always be surprises, but ideally this helps prevent too many surprises. So you get a chance to look at your week coming up, plan your menu, plan your grocery list. So now if I needed to, if I start this menu on Thursday and my intention is to go to the grocery on Monday, but let's say suddenly I have an appointment that comes up on Monday morning, it's okay. I've got my grocery list already made because it's right here on my note, and I can, if I have to, heaven forbid, it's not a fun time to do it, but if I have to go to the grocery at noon on Sunday right after church or something, I have my list ready. Okay, so that's how I use Evernote. I think it's wonderful. I will tell you, I also have, let's see, somewhere in here. So for example, here in my menus notebook, I also have kind of what are their favorite recipes, the things that they like the most. That's my go-to. So when I'm really struggling to put together a menu or I need to do it quickly, I go to that best recipes. So I hope that this is helpful for you guys. I'd love to hear your questions. I think Evernote is wonderful. I'm not 100% techie. I will tell you, when I make my grocery list, I tend to do it on paper because that grocery list is also kind of an organic list that grows throughout the week. My kids might say, hey mom, we ran out of Ritz crackers, and I'll say, okay, put it on the list. So I tend to make my grocery list from Evernote and add to the list that's already kind of been coming together throughout the week. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully it inspires you to stay organized and make some yummy meals. And I'll tell you what, I would love to hear your favorite family recipes. What are the recipes that, for the most part are whole foods, mostly from scratch, but your family just goes crazy over them. I want to hear about it. I also want to hear about your menu planning. If you have a method that you like, that you think is even more efficient than this, I want to hear about it. So comment, share, let me know, and I hope that you have many, many, many weeks of successful, yummy meals that your family goes crazy over and save you as much time as possible. All right, have a good